Wait, what's that? You can buy the other one with doubloons? Maximize revenue. Okay, roger that. VannKraken here, World of Warships Legends Alpha Tester. It's true, if you choose to participate in the Element of Choice campaign, then you get to pick your favorite ship, either the Pan-Asian destroyer Loyang or Pan-European destroyer Friesland, for just over $6 US to grind out with Admiralty backing. Over a 5-week run from October 4th to November 8th, you get a whole bunch of extra stuff for your Admiralty backing cost that will help you advance your ships and commanders in the game. We still believe that it's the best value in Legends for real money this side of premium time, bought during the upcoming holiday sales. Just keep in mind that this time around the bonus tip is that you can still purchase the other ship that you don't pick for the campaign by paying in an additional 17,500 doubloons for a total purchase price of about $58 US for both ships when grinding the campaign. It's time to preview our first campaign ship option, the Tier 7 Pan-Asian destroyer Loyang. This is a sweet and spicy Chinese ship with a distinctly American flavor, kind of like eating the signature orange chicken at Panda Express. As a PC player, I always thought Loyang was just a Benson-class destroyer, but that's not entirely accurate, as historically she actually is the USS Benson that was transferred to the Republic of China Navy in 1954. From a pro's perspective, Loyang is a well-balanced ship that can fulfill the spotting, capping, and area denial role that most destroyers are expected to fill for their team. She's got a solid gunboat combination of 4 127mm main battery guns with a good rate of fire and 2 quintuple racks with a choice of either 6.7 or 9.2 kilometer range torpedoes. Loyang's base concealment shines and puts her in a very competitive spot with stealthy IJNDDs when she wants to stay hidden. Her agility gives her a nimble combination of speed, quick rudder shift, and a tight turning circle. And she has a diverse set of consumables including long duration smoke, engine boost, most likely defensive AA, and most importantly, access to Sonar 1 for ship and torpedo detection. This gives her the crucial ability to either dodge torps or stay on the attack when smoked up, as you can see here in a successful duel with an enemy Asashio in a recent PC battle. With regard to cons, Loyang's main battery guns have floaty shells that are not easy to aim at targets over 7 to 8 kilometers away. Her high explosive rounds have only a 5% chance of fire, and she has one less gun than Benson does. It's likely that she'll get her choice of torpedo loadout, and her generally preferred longer range option does not pack a strong alpha damage punch and doesn't reload very quickly. And finally, you just can't expect to put up a strong defense against enemy planes with your anti-aircraft mounts either. But even with these drawbacks that you can definitely work around, Loyang holds all the cards that a mid to higher tier destroyer needs to succeed, and has an ace in the hole with her Sonar 1 and a brand new Pan-Asian commander with a base trait that improves main battery reload time. But wait, there's another debut to preview with the introduction of our first Dutch Pan-European ship into Legends, HN-LMS Friesland. Friesland is another ship that existed in the real world and was built as a lead ship in her class post-World War II with a primary role of submarine hunting. From a pro's perspective, Friesland is well known in the World of Warships universe for her incredibly fast-firing main battery guns with a full 360-degree turret rotation, allowing her to keep hosing down targets as she maneuvers. Her 2 twin dual-purpose 120mm Bofors mounts produce a whopping 8% fire chance per HE shell, which go out of the barrel at a staggering rate of 33.3 shots per minute that Atlanta fans will appreciate. Friesland's complement of consumables include an American-quality long-duration smoke generator, defensive AA, and the Sonar 1 detection capability also featured on the Loyang. And in her case, she has excellent anti-aircraft capability for a destroyer, with 6 additional 40mm Bofors mounts, giving her the ability to shred planes if they perform anywhere as near as well as they do on PC. With regard to cons, Friesland has nada, repeat, no torpedo armament. Her small caliber main battery shells can also have trouble penetrating thicker armor, but should reliably pen extremities and superstructures. Her main battery range is also somewhat limited, with accuracy getting noticeably harder to manage when shooting at targets further than about 14 kilometers away. From a survivability perspective, Friesland's base concealment of 8.2 kilometers is very poor for a destroyer. She's not going to want to be the first DD to get spotted in a cap circle in a multi-destroyer game, though playing that role is still viable with a measure of caution and patience. In addition, her top speed, rudder shift, and turning circle are all just average for a DD, making situational awareness or a keen understanding of when it's relatively safe to open up with your main battery guns and evade incoming fire vitally important. And finally, if you're a destroyer main on the lookout for more buffs to your DD fleet's concealment, Jerzy Swierski, with his hide-and-seek sea detectability concealment range buff, will come as the included Friesland commander. This perk alone may sway some captains to choose the Friesland path. Since we've deemed Friesland's competitive value to be based squarely on her main battery gunnery, let's take a quick look at comparative damage per minute output of our 2 campaign reward ships and throw in the tier 6 Benson that we already are familiar with as a counterpoint. The insane rate of fire of Friesland's dual-purpose Bofors drives some of the best destroyer maximum damage per minute numbers in the entire World of Warships universe, with both armor-piercing and high-explosive shells. Her AP rounds have enough bite to do significant damage to thinner armored surfaces, though they will suffer a bit against stronger armor plate and won't max out at over 279,000 DPM in actual use. But these guns are still really impressive. As Little White Mouse's PC review calls out the startling fact that when assuming just a 50% hit rate for Friesland in close-range engagements, she can shred an enemy destroyer with approximately 20,000 damage with HE rounds in just 25 seconds. Coupled with her high 8% HE shell fire chance, this gives her the ability to both accumulate significant alpha damage and stack blazes on enemy ships of all sizes faster than any other destroyer in the game. For Loyang, it's no surprise or major disappointment that her main battery DPM scores and HE fire chance are significantly lower than Friesland, even with her being leveled at the same tier. But she has plenty of offensive capability, considering that she can also inflict significant damage on her enemies with torpedoes in addition to her main battery. And just as a reminder, Benson can deliver 20% more main battery damage per minute than Loyang because she has one more 127mm gun in her configuration, albeit with about 1 kilometer less range of PC stat projections hold. So don't select Loyang thinking that she will match your Benson on gunboat performance alone. So now that we've covered the relevant facts and figures, including a deeper dive on firepower, let's talk about how these two destroyers match up and which one gets the edge with regard to typical destroyer roles, play styles, and player skill levels. From an overall role perspective, Friesland has amazing guns, but is definitely confined to a more rigid scout or fire support role. So we'll give the nod to Loyang as being the ship having a role that will mesh with a larger base of players. She's a true jack-of-all-trades destroyer with a flexible blend of core attributes and consumables that can adapt to and succeed in a variety of tactical situations. When considering a more traditional destroyer playstyle of capping bases, Loyang is also going to have a wide edge with her combination of stealthiness, torpedo loadout, and sonar 1. She can be a true thorn in the side of her enemies in close quarters situations. On the other hand, Friesland's poor concealment is a major hindrance to getting into cap circles early on in matches, and while her sonar 1 will help her dodge most torpedo attacks, her lack of her own torpedoes gives her no protection from enemy capital ships that charge her smokescreen. When it comes to a gunboating playstyle, it's a big tilt in the opposite direction to Friesland. Superior gun handling at longer ranges and an epic rate of fire give her a big edge over Loyang's floaty shells that are difficult to land on target more than 7 to 8 kilometers away and take considerably longer to reload. From a fire starting perspective, it's also all Friesland, as her much higher 8% fire chance, longer range, and rate of fire make her the best-in-class destroyer firebug in the game. We take the skill floor, or minimum player ability required to be successful in a ship, and skill ceiling, which describes the maximum amount of impact a ship can achieve on a game in skilled hands, from Little White Mouse's World of Warships PC reviews on these vessels. From a skill floor perspective, Loyang gets the nod, rated as casual, as she's simply going to be easier to play for folks of varying skill levels. Friesland rates as challenging, meaning she is going to be a very frustrating and short-lived ship for newer or less skilled players. What's really cool is that both ships tie for the highest skill ceiling rating of Extreme. If your playstyle meshes with either or both of these ships, you're going to have the potential to crank out some very memorable results and help your team win more games. So we finish off this look at the Element of Choice campaign with a quick take on if you should buy it for Loyang, for Friesland, or for both. If you like to knife fight and mix it up contesting caps at any stage of a match, or prefer a more comfortable, flexible, and traditional destroyer experience that will be easier to play out of the gate for most players, we've shown that Loyang is going to be a great pick for you. However, if you are a veteran player who enjoys gunboating and burning down enemy ships, feel fine with playing a DD with no torps that will 100% be a favorite target, or just really want to get Swirsky's inspiration for all your destroyers, Friesland will be a solid choice. And lastly, if you are a collector or have pockets that run deep, $59 US is not a crazy price to pay for two Tier 7 ships that have a proven track record of success and fun gameplay on PC. So go ahead and get both if you have anxiety about when these two ships will be available for sale in the future. Well, the Element of Choice campaign is definitely shaking things up. So do us a favor and let us know which ship you are choosing to grind out or purchase in the comments below. In the meantime, click on the cool video in the corner above to explore tactics to secure objectives in your destroyers. And don't forget to come back to check out our growing library of content here on YouTube, or to join us for a live stream on YouTube or on Twitch. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd be truly grateful if you drop a like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow. This is VannKraken. I thank you very much for watching, and I am out.